Hey, 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 everyone. Thanks for joining. Haha. It's kind of a different setting now. I don't have my tech team with me anymore. It's all just me having to take care of everything. It's easier with the tech team present, to be honest. Yeah, I'm back at home. PHP verse was a blast. Again, bumping microphones. I have the sign over here now. I really like it. Yeah. Hey, folks. Blackmorth, you're here. Alexandre Kuvi, something like that. Hello, I'm doing well, thank you. Alrifi Itachi, something like that. Good morning from Vietnam, spicy noodle. That is a great username, to be honest. And I just noticed I need to. Yeah, better. That's better. Hang on. Shh. It's good. Good morning. Um, like hitting the mic, Blackmore. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm such a noob, but here we are. We'll pass by. Now that is I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. Total noob. Poland. I don't know how to pronounce the name. There are not enough like vowels in there. I don't know. I'm not from Vietnam. It's a boomer meme. Oh yeah. No, I know the. Okay, good morning Vietnam. Good morning Vietnam. Something like that, right? I saw the movie. And now all your ears are broken. Something like that. It's a good movie. I like it. Mm. I actually have done that like that intro a couple of times during my live streams as well. Like good morning PHP. Yeah, but yeah. Um, let's see what we're doing today is something important actually. Let's see. I have. Oh, now I'm messing things up. Oh, but I can do it like this, of course. Okay, perfect. I'm a total professional here. Oh, no, I'm not because now my face cam is. Let's do it like this. Uh-oh. PHP forever. Absolutely, Alexander. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We did PHP verse, and we had a pretty big announcement that we're doing the state of PHP survey, and I'm gonna explain a little bit more about what it is. I still have to fill it in, and I figured I might as well do it on a live stream, right? Poor polls, they don't get enough files. um, so yeah, spicy noodle. I wanted to ask you if you'd be okay with typed variables, not just Uh, yes, I like strictly typed variables that cannot change types is very good. I would still prefer if you wouldn't have to declare the types themselves. We're already like that, like totally getting this. And again, my microphone, my camera. We're totally getting distracted from what we're doing today. But I would prefer it. Actually, let me just real quickly. You're like just small. Let's see. Okay, so type variable, right? I you like if we were to write this, it would be cool, but it would also be cool if PHP could figure out that okay, this is a string because it's the value assigned to it immediately is a string, so that you don't have to manually type this over here. But then you would have to be able to do that for this as well. So I don't know. Anyway, it's all like the only value from these things comes from static analysis. So that's a whole other discussion then. Or foo string, yeah, the foo string equals something like that could work as well. Yeah, that would be in line with return types. So I like some consistency for sure. PHP verse was great. Yeah, thank you. Mlachakam, something like that. I try my best. But like I try to pronounce all the names in YouTube chat, not during PHP verse, but otherwise, because I'm so amazed, but by from how many places people are tuning in, and I like that. I like that so much. I just opened the stream. I had the volume too high and wasn't completely awake. Good morning, Kalitsi. The type should be optional, yeah. So, well, we're doing our best. Anyway, mandatory types on var declarations sound like an amazing idea. I mean, the more types, the better, as long as they are statically checked and not during runtime. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I still have to read through my, hang on, externals.io. Oh, we're taking a total sidetrack here. Hang on, where's my, yeah, over here. I still need to, uh-oh, they've been talking about it. So, oh, now I lost my brands. Yeah, this one. So you know the generics RFC that is about type erased generics that aren't checked at runtime. Now someone is building on top of them, and they are adding. They said that you can do runtime type checks built on top of this RFC, and that might be interesting. And I'm like, no, but we don't need that. But anyway, I wrote this just before PHP verse started, and then some replies here. Yeah, please remember to bottom post. I'm sorry, I know Larry talked about it during his talk as well. I still need to reach. I'm not gonna do it right now. Sorry. It's gonna be too distracting because we're here to take the stage of the PHP. And so here's what's going on. JetBrains does this developer ecosystem survey every year. And GitHub does, I think, the state of open source or something like that. And then Stack Overflow, if they still exist, also did like this yearly survey. And some other bigger platforms. And that was really good. However, the problem is that any survey is always inaccurate because you're always reaching a specific group of people, and it's just impossible to get 100% accurate representation of what's going on in an ecosystem. It's not possible. However, you can try to make it as accurate as possible by trying to contact as many people, as diverse groups as possible. You can also compare data over time, which is actually the most interesting thing about these surveys, to see how things evolve over time and not look at absolute numbers. So we were talking about this. We do this yearly state of PHP, let's see, survey on like just from the JetBrains developer ecosystem survey. And it's good, but at the same time, we also feel like we're missing out because this is coming from JetBrains. It's likely to address more people that are users of JetBrains products. There are like many difficult things they try to do to make the data more representative, but still you cannot get around it. It's not 100% accurate. And we really wanted to find a way to get as best as possible an idea of what is happening in PHP. And so we teamed up with the foundation, and we're hosting a survey together with them, trying to get an idea for what's going on in the PHP ecosystem. I mean, we announced it on PHPverse. Already more than 1,000 people filled it in. I still need to fill it in, so that's what I'm gonna do today. And I hope as many people will join us, because our goal really is to just get an accurate representation of PHP as a whole. Not just for us, of course, like this data set is super interesting for anyone doing anything for PHP, but also for the foundation, right? And for internals and for the community as a whole to know where we stand, where we're going. And so we put a lot of time and effort into the survey, try to make it relatively short, but still very interesting questions that have like high value data. So yeah. Alcala is here as well. Thank you for the gift. This is on my work table already. That's really nice. Cool. That was a Lego elephant. Oh yeah, I have it here as well. It's on my work table also. Oh, I'm contacting some of the winners, by the way, who from PHPverse, who are getting one of these. It's really cool. So yeah. Mm. So today I want to like just fill it in together with you. Let's see. And you know, discuss some of the questions maybe. I think that would be cool. And to get your input. So if you're here and you want to fill it in as well, I'll this is actually the survey link, right? So now I need to put it in chat, which is another window. I'll put it over here, so you can add your answers as well. Fill it in together with me. And is the link actually coming? Okay, there it is. Wow, I was like taking so long. So that's the idea behind it. Let's go through it and see what's going on. But actually, I'm going to open it in this tab so that I can keep my chat. That's better. Spare 15 minutes to help us map the herd. Participating. Oh yeah, participating. By the way, the idea is that we're like trying to. Let me go back here. Like trying to map the state of the elephants in like the world. Like so, like that's kind of the survey. I found it fun. So oh yeah, you can win participating. You can win 500 euro vouchers, what you can use to like buy a bunch of stuff. Evil bots, dishonest respondents, and AI agents will be excluded from prize distribution. Just beware, evil bots. The aggregated results of this survey will be published in the inaugural State of PHP report that aims to chart the global PHP ecosystem. And what will be super interesting, because this is the first time we're doing it at this scale, what will be super interesting is if we can do this year by year by year, and so get this, you know, this relative overview, like the changes, see the changes. That's actually the most important part of any survey. So, but this is a start, and of course we're going to compare with other data sets from previous years, but we hope to reach a much wider and thus more accurate audience. I have read and accepted these terms. Of course. Okay. Which programming languages have you used in the last 12 months? That's JavaScript for me, PHP, SQL, shell scripting as well, TypeScript a little bit. I think that's it. I don't use programming. No, it reset. JavaScript, shell, SQL, TypeScript, and I think that's it. Okay, next. Oh no, actually. No, it's gonna be reset again? No, other. Tempest View. Because, you know. What is your main programming language now? That's definitely PHP. I didn't expect you taking so much time to read the terms, yeah. Okay, so here, this is some proper questions. What was your main programming language 12 months ago? Choose one language that you used the most. And so the reason we're asking these kinds of questions is actually because we want to determine from the very start that people filling in this survey are actual PHP developers. That's apparently really important to do. Because non-PHP developers will fill it in as well, and we need a way to filter those answers. Not that the non-PHP answers aren't valuable. No, on the contrary, because people who might have used PHP in the past might fill it in as well. We really want to know that also to get this image on. Maybe people are leaving PHP. Why? But it's really important to be able to segment here. Do you think your main programming language will be different in 12 months? If yes, what will it be? No, I don't think it will be. Again, we're trying to find out if people have any relatively short-term plans on leaving or replacing PHP, which is really important. You know, you have people like, and multiple surveys actually online indicating that PHP might be declining a bit or stagnating. And at the same time, we're also seeing very good numbers from the Laravel community on packages, and we need to be able to like try to get as accurate as possible an idea of what's going on. Adoption is lower year in year, yeah, and I don't know why though. And so if that is the case, which we're not absolutely sure of, but if that is the case, we want to find out why and what we can do to fix it. But that will be clear from the other upcoming question. How long have you been using PHP? More than 7 years. How did you originally learn PHP? Personal projects, but also university and college courses. Actually, when like the very first time I did PHP, I think I told this story before, but it was in college where we were writing this framework, and it kind of like all went downhill from there, I would say. No, it was a great start, but it's actually surprising because as far as I know, at least where I live, PHP isn't given at in university anymore. And so I actually expect that people with lesser years of experience likely won't have the university college course or school option selected. And again, that's a really interesting data point because, well, from the JetBrains' point of view, we also have this team that's exclusively working on teaching and university relations and stuff like that. And I think it would be so good to get more people excited about PHP from the very start, when they start programming, and not when they're already graduated. Because I think that's a big problem actually. Like in education, so much focus on JavaScript these days, and it's creating kind of a like what's the word, like market focused on more one programming language rather than a diversity. So yeah, do you think PHP benefits or suffers more from evolve of AI engineering? Actually, up until this point, PHP is doing really well because of the vast amount of code that has been written before and is online. We actually see that most AI models are pretty good with PHP compared to other languages like Python. Well, Python is probably also pretty good, but like Ruby, Java, .NET, like stuff like that. And from PHP Storm's point of view, we actually also see that we have very high level of AI users compared to other ecosystems, which is really interesting. So it indicates that PHP developers are using quite a lot of AI, which can mean that like AI is pretty good for PHP. It can mean that there are many newcomers to PHP that just start with vibe coding and don't dive into writing the language themselves. But then again, that's not really the case for PHP these days. So there are some questions about AI coming up, which it's super important. Whether you like AI or not, it's super important to find out about these things. My university actually included PHP in one semester, but very basic stuff. And like KRB, can you elaborate like how long ago that was? Because that's really interesting. Which versions of PHP do you regularly use? That's only 8.5 for me. Have you migrated to a newer version of PHP in the last 12 months? If so, to which one? Yes, to 8.5. What are the main challenges to upgrading your project to newer PHP versions? Again, we're super curious to learn about this, because these days it's not all that difficult to upgrade your even production projects. There are tools that help you with this. I would say it's really important, especially in this like day and age where we live now, where there are so many security vulnerabilities discovered. You cannot stay behind. I've been saying this for years, but now it's even much more important. 2 years ago, KRB in India, though. So yeah, but really cool. Yeah, and it doesn't really matter where it's from. I think I hope that more colleges and universities can actually include PHP in some way, because it is still a really relevant language, as we've learned during PHP first. So what are the main challenges to upgrading your project to newer PHP versions? Legacy, framework dependency. This is actually the only blocker for me, I think. Not framework necessarily, but package dependencies. Lack of time or engineering resources, risk of regression or downtime, insufficient test coverage, infrastructure or hosting limitations, business client constraints. Yeah, okay. So I would actually say probably none. But okay, let's keep it here, because there are some times where third-party dependencies are blocking the upgrade path. On which operating systems are your PHP development environment? That's Mac for me. What does your PHP code mainly do? Yeah, what does my PHP code do? Let's see. Ad hoc scripts, I definitely do that. Application logic, I do that as well. Artificial, no. Audio, video processing, no. Automated software testing and quality assurance, I guess yes. Blockchain, no. Conducting simulations and predictive modeling, no. Data processing, analytics, a little bit actually. Data science, data analytics, no. Let's keep it with processing and analytics. Hardware interfacing control systems, no. You might find that some of these options are very weird to include here, but we actually have data from the other ecosystem surveys from previous years that actually list people doing this with PHP. So we included them again just to make sure that we again get as accurately as possible an image here. Integrating with APIs, for sure. Integrating with AI, actually not. Libraries, frameworks, definitely. Networking, APIs and services, not really. Rendering and processing graphics. Security, not really. System tools and components, a little bit. Yes. User interface, also, I guess. Yeah. Very curious as a language professional on the results of this one. So yeah, it will be, actually don't know when we'll publish the results, but we try to do it as quickly as possible. But first we need as many people as possible to fill it in. So if you haven't done it already, by the way, do go to over here. I'll link it in chat once again. Go to this link and also share it, with your colleagues, even with your technical managers. Share it with your fellow students on the socials. Like, we need to spread the word here, because the more people that fill this in, the more accurate the results will be. And that's really the goal. Can you get the PHP verse 2026 uploaded? I didn't get a chance on the day, but was keen to watch the content. So what we're doing is the talks will be published one by one in the coming 2 weeks. So just the first one has already been published. The next ones are coming on Mondays. The next one Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Monday once again, and that's everything. And we're spreading it out. It's not to like to bully anyone, but it's just important for YouTube to not publish all content at once, because then I would basically kill my channel. Not that's over dramatic, but it would have like a very negative impact on channel statistics. So mine breaks, so that's others. I don't know what you meant with that. JD Rab. Which kind of websites or web apps do you develop using PHP? This business website, not really. Personal, portfolio, definitely. Informational websites, definitely. E-commerce, no. Internet portals, no. Multifunctional web portals, blogs, social media, news or entertainment. Educational, no, I shouldn't say educational. Web interfaces for, well, actually I should. No, okay, no. That's it. Which PHP development environment do you regularly use? I'm still local, man. Like, I just cannot be bothered with the Docker stuff. And I know it's not good, because I need to implement FrankenPHP in Tempest, which you should use Docker for. And so I keep putting it off, because I just don't want to deal with Docker. That was to the question, what does your code mainly do? Break. I get it now, JD Rap. How do you usually debug PHP code? For me, it's both. DD debugging or using an X debugger. It really depends on the type of problem I run into. So, which PHP production runtimes do you regularly use? For me, that's still PHP FPM. Like I said, I need to move to Franken PHP, but I still have some work to do, and I'm afraid of Docker. So there are some people who are helping me out there, but yeah, just haven't gotten to it yet. Next, would you consider using Franken PHP? Yes, definitely. We included this question. Might seem a bit, I don't know, biased or something, but if you watched PHP verse, you know that I think Larry mentioned it, and in his talk, it's such an important thing to happen to PHP. Franken PHP, we cannot underestimate it. They've teamed up with the PHP Foundation last year as well. It's really important to we need to keep our eye on Franken PHP. I think at some point it might become the default runtime for PHP because there's only just things to gain, to be honest. If you don't know, Franken PHP is a runtime for PHP that's written in Go. It uses the PHP interpreter underneath, but it's written in Go, and it has a couple of more features compared to a normal PHP runtime like PHP FPM. You can, well, it includes the web server, which is Caddy. It includes it in like its runtime, so you don't have to set up a separate web server. You can compile your application into a binary and then run it anywhere, which is really good for like production deployments, right? You can do some more what's it called, the worker mode. You can go to worker mode where you can serve requests not asynchronously, but within the same process. So you keep your framework code alive basically, and you skip all the booting time for every request, stuff like that. And that's actually like the last thing that worker mode support. That's what I'm still working on with Tempest. And where my fear of Docker is getting in my way. Which PHP frameworks and CMSs do you use regularly? Yeah, I couldn't. I helped with these questions, but it didn't feel like it would be fair to include Tempest here yet. Maybe next year. But yeah. Where is Laravel? Oh, okay. I thought Laravel was like panic. How do you host your PHP applications in productions? DigitalOcean. Yeah, that's the only thing I do these days. It's easy. Which editor or IDE do you use? That's only PHP Storm for me. Which testing frameworks do you regularly use for PHP development? I don't write tests. No, I write tests, but don't use any framework. I wonder who would do that actually, like just testing without any testing framework. Yeah, for me it's PHP unit, and that's about it. It works. I don't think it should be more difficult than that. Although I did start writing my own testing framework a while ago. I should take a look at that again, but not today. Which additional code quality tools do you regularly use, if any? Mago. That's about this. Like I've switched to Mago all the way. I talked about this on PHPverse as well. It's just it works super quickly and it does all the things. Let me actually go over like Tempest Markdown, for example. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's just the wrong composer QA. So yeah, this is Mago, and it's super quickly, but also like look at the output, right? So Mago does static analysis, linting, and formatting, right? But look at this beautiful output. It immediately shows you like what the problem is, like super good explanations as well of what's wrong, what you can do. So I really like Mago. It's super quick. much faster, and also important, it is very actively worked on. So you know, when PHP 8.6 arrives, it has support from day one, and you don't have to wait half a year before it's there. I have high hopes for Mago, but my colleagues don't want to migrate very fast from PHP CS Fixer. The reason we chose Mago was because PHP CS Fixer was, I think it was with PHP 8.4, right? It took half a year after the release of PHP 8.4 before they actually had support that meant your code didn't break when running PHP CS Fixer. And then I think it took another year or half a year before they actually had support for like 8.4 specific features. And then we just said, like, we understand that this is an open source project and everyone can help contribute, but these, to me at least, these are crucial tools, and I am getting really stuck. I cannot, I don't have the time to fix all of this. And then Mago came along, and it's really good. And so I just switched to Mago and never looked back. Marcus, that was some lengthy survey. Actually, I think we cut it in half, Marcus. Like, the original questions we had was a lot more than this, but also I'm doing it on a very leisurely pace because I'm talking so much. Which resources do you currently use to stay up to date with PHP? Blogs, not really AI tools. Developer communities, framework documentation, I would say yes. GitHub, yes. Online, offline community groups, online courses, not really these days. PHP docs, also not really. Social media, I try to. If only PHP would tweet on Twitter. But yeah, or anywhere else for that matter. Like, they're nowhere basically. Like, it's a real shame. Anyway, fun fact, today someone not insignificant in the Java community asked me to try to bring these kinds of error messages with suggestions to Java. Too busy to do it now. Yeah. No, I get that. Like, these kinds of beautiful error messages. I think this is just a Rust library, by the way. This isn't written by Mago, as far as I know. I actually don't know, but it's my assumption. Because Rust kind of does these kinds of cool things. But yeah. What are your top 3 PHP feature requests? Let's go. I'm not gonna choose generics. Let's see. Let's first see what else is here. Pattern matching, scalar object typed arrays. This is like, let's just go with generics. Native async support, better performance, short closure improvements, immutable objects, package declarations, standardized corollary, built-in debugger, language editions. Oh, I have to say language editions. Did you? I wrote a blog post about this. I'll share it in the chat as well. It's really important. Language editions. What else? Better performance, I would say. And then probably generics. You can only select 3, which we did on purpose. Because otherwise, like, people would say 10. We need to get like the highest priority ones. And we hope that then the PHP Foundation can actually prioritize some things based on this data. I guess I want ADTs because I want Rust results type. Yeah, I think Larry's working on algebraic data types. What, Adrian? What? Adrian coming in. What? I don't know. I don't know what. What? You tell me. What should PHP prioritize between backward compatibility and introducing new language features? I know what I'm saying here. Strongly prioritize faster evolution, not pattern matching. I need to pick 3, Adrian. I need to pick 3. You cannot have all. And I definitely think like these 3. Actually, like, there's a difference between my top 3 features and what I think is most important for PHP. But they say your top 3 features. Actually, I think native async support is more important than generics. But for me personally, I would like generics more. YouTube chat is so laggy. Like, yeah, there is some delay there. JD Rap, I know. What are the 3 most frustrating things about working with PHP? Select up to 3. Maintaining legacy code or backwards compatibility, addressing technical debt, not for me. Upgrading PHP versions, definitely not. Debugging issues in larger old codebase, no. Memory usage, performance, no. Dependency management, no. Security patching, no. Inconsistent naming conventions, type system limitations, lack of concurrency, framework, landscape, fragmentation, no. Documentation gaps, other, please verify. The lack of marketing of the language. Next. Some kind of ranked vote might be a cool idea for future JetBrains surveys as a whole. They do it for the 3 primary language in the big annual survey. That's a good idea. I'll take a note of that. Note. No, but it really is a good idea. Which of the following best describes your employment and involvement in software development? I would say full-time. Yeah. Which of the following best describes your job roles, regardless of your position level? What am I? Probably instructor, teacher, tutor. Probably also developer, programming, software engineer. Probably also technical writer. Yeah. Oh, developer advocate is here as well. Okay. Yeah. Then. Okay. Cool. How many full years of professional coding experience do you have? How old am I now? I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. What is your age range? That's this. Which country or region do you live? Oh, no. Belgium. How many people work for your company or organization? But yeah, from what point of view should I fill this in? Like open source Tempest or JetBrains? I'll fill it in like this. But then it's not, I'm just gonna say just me, because I don't want like these numbers to, like these aren't PHP developers, right? It's not the kind of company I'm at. What percentage of people in your company or organization write code? I'm gonna say I'm not sure. I think that's the best. Which of the following sectors is your company or organization primarily active in? Education, no. Energy. Hard, no. Software, where's software? IT services. Outsourced software development, no, not really. Software development, like this. Which kind of development is your company or organization involved in? Product development, in-house development, open source. I think. Brent, you won't get that 500 for filing a survey. You know that, right? I know, Jacob. But I'm using this as a way to encourage people to fill it in. Which of the following describe the company or organization you work of? We're privately owned. B2B, B2C. JetBrains. How many people work in your project team? But see, again, I'll choose this. Also custom tailor, see what... Which type of development are you involved in at work? Backend, I reckon, front end. But again, it's not, nah. I don't develop like I don't write code for JetBrains. That's like I don't write code that JetBrains uses, right? Anyway, which of these AI tools do you use? Shell, GPT, Codex? No, not Cursor. Claude. That's it. At work, yeah. Oh yeah, now are the AI questions, I reckon. How often do you use each of these? Several times a week, I would say. Something like that. Not daily. What percentage of the code that you produced in the last month was fully generated by AI? Not much. Written, something like this, fully written by you without any AI assistance, something like this, I would say. Does this add to 100%? I think so. You do write it to keep up your skills as part of the developer advocate role, though. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that is part of the job. But yeah, I don't know how to answer it. Like, my job is weird. I tried to explain it to my dad what I do as a job, and he didn't get it. Well, he was like, okay, so you're an influencer for nerds, basically. I was like, how would you rate the quality of solutions generated by AI coding agent compared to code fully written without any AI assistance? Much worse. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's always like this, I should say. How would you describe, because like the way I use AI and the way some of my I'm now thinking of the people I write code together with, which are within Tempest. The average AI driven contribution is just crap, and I close the pull request. I'm sorry, it does not. It wastes so much time. I know that my fellow core contributors, they use AI in places to guide them and to help write tests the same way I do, to sometimes find bugs in which, like, just explain what the bug is, don't fix it, but explain it, find it. That's pretty useful. Here I've written one test. I need 50 more in the same style. Follow my example, basically. Those are the use cases where I find it okay. And where my colleagues are also using it very well. But then if you just ask it to write code, it's always worse. Always worse. Nerdfluencer. That's what I am. Yeah, nerdfluencer. How would you describe the current level of AI adoption in your company's software development processes? Difficult to say, right? Because again, what am I? Probably partial adoption. Yeah. I'm now looking at it from Tempest's point of view, because it's like, if this is the PHP survey, and when I'm writing PHP, it is like within that context. How are you using AI tools with PHP? Okay, yeah, so a little bit of writing code, finding problems, definitely, suggesting fixes, definitely, reviewing, definitely, reviewing code from other people, sometimes generating test data, testing code. No, not deploying to production. Understanding how a specific code will work. Writing documentation, no. I actually think writing documentation is something you shouldn't outsource to AI. You should do it yourself, because while you're writing documentation, you actually learn so much from the code base you've just created, and you find a lot of things that can be improved. You should not automate the documentation part. Monitoring, no. Searching for answers, okay, yeah. Learning new concepts, no, not really, I don't do that. To which extent do you agree or disagree with each of the following statements? AI will eventually take over the coding process. I disagree. The adoption of AI coding will decrease the demand of professional software developers. See, this is a tricky one. I think the adoption of AI coding will decrease the demand for probably junior or less experienced software developers, and it will increase the demand on very experienced developers who actually know what they are doing and can use the tool in a way that's actually helpful and productive. Which is a real problem for newcomers, by the way. I expect employers to provide me with AI tools for coding. I think I agree. Employers will expect every software to be proficient with AI tools for developers. I don't know, like, the way I view it is, it's a good tool if used correctly. So I think you should, just like the way you're using an IDE, like, it takes some time to learn. It's good, it makes you more productive. So in that way, yes. At the same time, many companies also aren't forcing you to use this IDE or that editor or whatever. So whatever works for you, I guess, as long as you're productive enough according to your employer's standards, I would say. So yeah, AI will perform technical tasks, writing, debugging, and maintaining code, while developers will focus on strategic work. No, I don't really agree on this regard, to be honest. No, no. I don't think this will be a reality anytime soon. There's just too much crap. Developers will be able to onboard in new domains much more quickly. That I agree with. Development will become more enjoyable because of AI. No, I disagree. To be honest, it takes away so much of the joy to like have something else write code for you and then have no feeling with it, no feeling of ownership, no feeling of I understand what this does. Yeah. Would you like to participate in the next survey? Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to share? No. First name, please provide your contact details. You can all know my email address. There you go. Receive when it's published, participate in research, sign up for, no, I don't, I already have that. There we have it. Oh, they have like this cute little image here. Very cool. I like this. Originally, we wanted to team it like with National Geographic style, with like the yellow border, but apparently that's not allowed to, according to copyright laws, something like that. Which is unfortunate because it would be super cool to have like a National Geographic styled thing here. But yeah, not allowed. So we just removed the yellow border. But still, I like it. So yeah, that's a survey. As you see, it only takes like 45 minutes if you're doing it on a live stream. And if you're doing it on your own, it's probably 15 minutes. So I really hope all of you will fill it in and spread the word, because this will be a very important data source for the foundation to determine what to focus on. That's one of the major goals here, so that we can know what's next for PHP. Also to get a better understanding of what's going on in the PHP community, and trying to get some more accurate data on these claims of whether PHP is growth is declining or stagnating or not. It's very difficult to get accurate data here, and so yeah, we hope that this is, well, at least it's our best attempt. So yeah, that is the state of PHP. Fill it in if you have the time, and then, well, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I did what I had to do, and now I have to read through some internal discussion about generics. So yeah, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget the PHP first videos are coming as well in the coming 2 weeks. So make sure to subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.